everyone, it's Emily, and welcome to another small little cottage speed build because I feel like I haven't done one of these in a while. And this is one of those builds that I started before Seasons came out, like the night that it was coming out, because I stayed up until midnight that night. Well, I stayed up until 2 a.m., but I stayed up until midnight for the release, and then I stayed up the extra 2 hours to work on another build. But this was one of the house shells that I built when I was kind of like waiting around. I started building at like 10 p.m. and then just like built a bunch of house shells for 2 hours, and this was one of them. I did a bigger family house that is the one that I actually finished that night, and it was for my Seasons collab. It was called like the Four Seasons. It was wintry themed, so you can check that out because that's already on the channel. And then I have a couple other ones that I started during that time period too. I don't think I've released any of the other ones yet, but this one was just a smaller little cottagey home because I feel like I haven't done one in a while. I might be wrong, but I really don't think I have. Oh, the other build that I started during the time period where I was waiting was my summer family lake house thing that I posted on 4th of July. So if you haven't seen that, and that sounds like something you'd want to check out, that's also already on the channel. So that's available for your viewing entertainment. But anyway, this house was supposed to be kind of like I don't know what I was even going for with this, because so you see the front and how I'm doing it. It looks like, you know, a little, I don't know if it's Victorian. It's kind of like borderline Victorian cottage type deal, small, not starter home because it's too expensive, but kind of that vibe is what I was going for. And then I decided to put this part on the back. I don't know if I showed the roofing of how I did it, but there's actually a glass roof on the back. We'll see that later. And I was thinking like, oh, there's like a modern extension on the house, but you can't even see the modern extension from the front, so it kind of doesn't show up as much as I was expecting, and you can't even see it in the thumbnail. But this house kind of turned into like grandma's house, which I wasn't intending, but I did furnish it like last night. And when I did the landscaping and the exterior, that was right before Seasons came out, so there's been quite a gap in time of when I first built this. So my original intentions have kind of changed. Oh, here's where I'm putting on the addition, because I have been seeing lots of things on Pinterest where they use glass roofs over a kitchen, and I thought that would be a cool thing to add to the house. So I added this glass roof little pop-outy bit, and that's where the kitchen goes, and it looks really cool, but it's very modern. And so I've come up with this kind of weird storyline thing because I started decorating the living room and it was just very grandma, and I liked it too much to change it just to make it not grandma. But now we're finally getting into the part where I have Seasons. As you can see, we've got the Seasons windows in and getting in some other Seasons stuff. I end up changing the front door off screen at the end, and there are a couple other things. I'll try to point them out as I go. But yeah, there's some things that I realized when I was taking the screenshots, like we're missing a few things, so I had to pop them in. But like I said, I'll try to remember to point them out before we get there, and then we're all confused. But anyway, so grandma lives in this house and she has all of her little grandma stuff, and then I'm thinking that maybe this modern extension out the back that has this super modern kitchen, because everything is very, like I said, grandma, and then the kitchen is super modern. Like the appliances are really nice, the counters are really nice, but then there's some like hints of grandma in the kitchen, you'll see. And I was thinking maybe her kids, or like one of her kids or something, they decided to, you know, splurge for a gift, and maybe they renovated part of her house. Like they had part of her house upgraded, so all of it has new appliances. Obviously we had this nice glass roof thing going on, so I was thinking maybe her kitchen was like super run down. It was probably really small because they needed to extend it, and she probably didn't have much entertaining space, so they decided to help her out because they know she loves cooking. And I was also thinking that she used to be a writer based on some other stuff that I put in the house, and I was thinking maybe she used to live in Brindleton Bay, but her kids live in Willow Creek, so she's moved here to be closer to them, and they wanted to give her a nicer kitchen because the house she moved into had a really bad kitchen. Because starter houses tend to have really small kitchens with not good appliances if you build an actual starter house, and I was thinking that maybe the outside of this house was a starter house at some point. Obviously it wasn't because I didn't build it that way, but that's kind of like what I've come up with in my head. And she's moved in here with all her furniture that she had in her other house that was probably too big for her. She's downsized a little bit. things are kind of cramped, but it's okay. And now she has this nice modern kitchen that one of her kids designed, which totally doesn't fit the rest of the house, but that's because she didn't pick it out herself. And I really like how the kitchen turned out, though. I think it's nice, and the storyline thing is kind of cool, in my opinion. But I think the rest of the house, if you wanted this to go together more, like maybe you wanted the inside to be more modern and maybe be for a younger sim or a young couple or something, then you can easily just switch out some of the furniture that looks a little bit more grandma-y. Like I would probably put a new TV and a new console thing under the TV, maybe change a couple patterns on things, and then you're pretty much good to go. But that chair on the right hand side over there, that is like grandma chair, so that had to be in this build somewhere. And I also built my own little bookshelf thing in the corner. I cut out some of the furnishing of that. I've never gotten any complaints when I've done stuff like that, when I cut out cluttering up a shelf, but I did leave some footage in there of cluttering up the top levels of the shelf so you guys could still see what was going on. And classic me, back at it, talking about things when they didn't happen or at a different time than they happened in the build. Oh gosh, good to be back. But yeah, I don't know. I just really like how this interior turned out. I was after I finished it, I was like, I did something completely different than what I wanted to with this house. Am I okay with it? And I was like, it's fine. I think it's good. So that's where we're at with that. And I really love the kitchen. It's super nice. And then the clutter is just so like on point for the sim that I had in mind after I did the whole like living room area and stuff. And the only reason I decided that maybe she's an author is because I used the computer that's a career reward for the writer branch, and I was thinking that maybe grandma has her typewriter thing. I don't know, because not typewriter, but it's just like an older computer, because that's the only computer that looks older to me other than like this boxy one, but that one's just ugly, so we can't use that one. But anyway, all of the decorations in the super modern kitchen are very like homey, and I don't know if they're rustic, but they're definitely not modern. So we've got that going on. She's got her clutter crazy plates. We have a little flower decoration thing that one of the grandkids made probably. And then we have a nice little grandma rug to grandma it up in here some more. And I was thinking maybe somehow the curtains are like built into the windows, so she can't change those because those aren't very grandma. They kind of go with the modern stuff, but that's okay. And then I thought maybe she had this thing that she used in her kitchen as like an island, but then when she got here, maybe they were considering building an island, but I decided it didn't really fit when I was trying to put it in. So I was considering building an island. Hello, I'm the grandchild designing this. But yeah, I was thinking that they couldn't fit the island. She was like, oh, it's fine, I'll just bring my extra table that I use as an island anyway. I don't know why that's my grandma voice, but she popped that table in there, and I think it looks great. And I don't know, I just had fun with this. Also, the colors don't really go together, but I think we can pass it off as just grandma likes her colors or something. Because that table I did not realize was that bright. I've said this in other videos, I have this thing on my computer that makes it so my screen turns orange at night. I built this really late at night after I was done streaming last night. So yeah, well, I furnished it. I didn't build it. I built it before seasons, but yeah, I furnished it last night. So very late, I was very tired, and somehow I got through it. But anyway, speaking of streaming, gotta plug my stream as usual, as you do. But if you want to watch me build live on Twitch, I'll be live. I'll be live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'll be building a shopping center for my New Crest development series on YouTube. And I'm not going to be doing a speed build of the shopping center just because I don't think my computer can handle that many applications running at once, because the software that I have that records my screen for the stream has my face on it, and so it would just look insane if we had too much stuff going on the screen and I sped it up and my face would just be all over the place, and I don't think it would look very good. And I would have to have a separate recording program open to record it as a speed build, so I think that my computer would just not like that very much because it's already using all of its processing power while I'm streaming anyway, so to add another program in there I don't think would go very well. Also, OBS on my computer, if I'm doing anything else, seems to lag out a ton, so I think that OBS would really hate that and it would be a terrible speed build. But I do want to do a video tour because it is going to be a pretty big lot. I think we're going to have 3 different things in it, maybe 4, yeah, I think 4 actually, because I want to do 2 retail stores and then I want to do a restaurant, and then I was thinking about doing something else, but I can't remember what it was now. So maybe we will just do a couple shops and a restaurant. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be fun. I like building on stream, especially for community lots, because, oh, there goes my alarm, because I can get ideas from the chat and you guys always have such good ideas. So if you're available and want to watch me build, then I would love to especially get feedback because I think that build streams can be really cool and fun. Oh, but anyway, this is a little back patio area, lots of plants. Grandma loves her plants, obviously. And then we've got this fun painted table. Maybe one day she just let the grandkids paint the table, I don't know. And had to get a dollhouse out there so that while grandma and parents are barbecuing and hanging out at the table, kids can be playing at the dollhouse. I don't know, it's just cute grandma things. I like baking houses for grandparents because you get to put in a bunch of kid stuff, but you don't have to worry about having a bunch of bedrooms. And I like that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe if you're not already. I post at least 2 speed builds a week. I don't know, my schedule's kind of weird right now, but if you like this, lots more to come. And I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.